Take one. Okay, so my name is Zachary Williams, and this is my friend Jenna, and she is a PT student here at Mercer, and I guess I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm, like you said, a PT student here, and I'm just finishing up my first year. That's about it.
So yeah, and basically I've asked her to help me with this special project I had some months ago. And in a nutshell, I want to attempt to achieve the same muscular physique that Hugh Jackman had in the film The Wolverine back in 2013. And some people are probably thinking like, well, you probably need a personal trainer for that. But for this video series, I'm gonna do it basically homemade. So I can't afford a fitness trainer, and I'm just gonna see how it goes from here. And I've asked her to help me in just being a guiding voice initially, and just how to start this project, what would be some do's and some don'ts, or basically, if she were in my shoes, what would she do? So I have a foundation in exercise. I've started exercising somewhere in my teen years, and I'm 25 now, and just kind of throughout those years, not entirely consistently, I've been able to keep up a muscular physique at some base. But for this challenge, it would really be pushing myself to actually gain weight in muscle. And this will just be something I'm looking at that's I'll be determined to do, but also something I hope to enjoy lightheartedly as well. So this is video one of a series of videos that I'll be uploading to places like YouTube and Instagram. So I guess step one would be, what should be my first step in terms of organizing a weekly plan for exercise? Or like how often?
Yeah, so I think what you mentioned before, how your goals is definitely going to determine what your schedule is going to look like, what type of exercise you're going to perform, and how long you're going to perform it for. So you said your main goal is
to add weight in muscle.
So for that, you're looking more at strength training, and honestly, since you do want to become more lean too, it's important to also add cardio into your program.
Okay.
But you're not looking to be like a cross-country runner or run a marathon, so
no, not at all.
So you're not going to have as much endurance within your training. But yeah, so part of it is definitely that training aspect. And then they always say out there that it's always 70% diet and then 30% work in the gym. So
okay, so I'm not as familiar with that one, but that's that'll be a challenge in itself, because I am addicted to sweet tea and Mexican food, and they go really well together, but they're not the most beneficial for something like this type of fitness, so that's good to know. I'll have to do like a Last Supper type of thing too this weekend. Last hurrah, ice cream, not pizza, but Mexican food and some other junk food before I go. So boiling it all down, what would it come to? Like, how many days a week do you think I should do? Like maybe 4 or 5, because I know there needs to be some rest days in there too.
Yeah, I think a lot of times people, like you said, they try to overtrain and try to go maybe 7 days a week when they don't understand the importance of rest and how in order for your body to build muscle fibers and get toned, you have to have those rest days so that your muscles can rebuild themselves. And you continue to train it, all those micro tears you're prone to injuries, and you're not going to be able to get the gains that you want. So for your specific goals, I probably would recommend strength training for 4 days a week, and then also incorporating within maybe those sessions, like focusing more on strength training, but then within the sessions, maybe 10 to 20 minutes of cardio before or after. And then on the days, maybe 1 or 2 other days when you're not in the gym, doing strength training, you can also focus on cross training on those days.
And cross training is?
Yeah, so cross training is more like finding something else that you're not, let's say your priority right now is strength training.
Okay.
So you could pick up running or maybe basketball, something that you enjoy.
Okay.
And you see runners do this all the time too, when their running days are mixed in with cross training, so they're lifting on the other days, and maybe going for a bike ride on a weekend. So that allows for your body to be able to be used in a different way, like your muscles to be able to train in a different way, but also mentally it's a good break to take.
Yeah, I guess just switching things up a little bit, and also not that exercise can't be fun, but also if you switch it up to like bicycling or something else, other physical activity, you really break that cycle and add something kind of fun to the mix too. So it makes it kind of easier, more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say if I were to work out, I would say once for 4 days, is that like an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening, or just 1 hour that day?
I guess it really depends on your goals and like how much you want to cut, how much you want to gain in muscle.
Okay.
I think, how often do you go to the gym right now?
So on a good week, I'll get in there. Honestly, it needs to be a better week of like maybe 3 days. So, but I'd like to bump it up to at least 4 or 5 for this.
Okay.
You know.
And then when you are at the gym, how long do you usually work out?
If I have the time, I'll stay there for over an hour. You know, I've been at the gym for longer durations, but I know it doesn't have to be like a 2-hour thing. So if I really want to cover a lot of bases, I'd like to stay there for like an hour and a half.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's I mean, you have a really great starting point, and I don't think it's bad to be there for an hour, 30 minutes. I do think that you can still get a really efficient workout in with just an hour or maybe even 45 minutes.
Okay.
But for that, you have to be strategic in how many sets, how many reps you're doing, and then the rest breaks too. Now, if you're taking a 5-minute rest break between your exercises, then yeah, that's going to elongate your time in the gym. But also sometimes if you overwork yourself, or maybe you have a long period of time when you're in the gym, but the quality of what you are putting into, I'm not saying you are doing this, but in general, like the quality that people do put into it also matters. So it's not all about quantity, it's also about quality. And so
Okay. So it's like if you went from a 90-minute workout to 45 minutes, you could do like a pretty intense 45 minutes and still be really efficient as well.
yeah.
Okay. So that's good to know. All right. So I guess on to the next topic or next step. I don't even know what that is. Do you start eating if you were in my shoes right now?
I think it's kind of different, because it's it's a running joke in PT. It's always like, it depends. Like that's the answer for everything.
Okay.
But honestly, sometimes it depends. So what I may start doing might look different from what you start doing. First, because of our physique, how much you're a male, I'm a female, and then also like your starting point. I typically don't like to eat fried food, and I like stray away from. I like junk food, but I stray away from it.
You have your own poison.
Yeah, I have my own poison. But for you, if you want to be able to, I think there's 2 different approaches you could take to it. I think you could go in that one direction that a lot of people try to do, which is not bad at all, but completely like get rid of your old habits and start with something that's like, very healthy and getting rid of all the foods that you used to eat and taking on this new diet.
Okay.
But in terms of longevity-wise, the second approach you could do is like slowly taking away different unhealthy foods in your diet that you have right now and incorporating healthy foods in not as aggressive way. So I think there's two different approaches.
Okay, so if I take the first approach, it's basically going to mean restocking my fridge as it's full right now, and going to Sam's and buying all of the healthier foods that I need. Just kind of, because as I mentioned, like off camera, I mentioned that I don't even prepare meals when I come to work for lunch. So Monday through Friday, it's McDonald's, pizza, whatever other food is around that's convenient and not too expensive. But I mean, first of all, it's not healthy, obviously. Second of all, it's not healthy for my wallet either, because that all adds up week after week.
Yeah.
So I guess a really good way for me to go about this is the next time, or making a day to actually setting aside a day to go pick up groceries, and then just making sure the stuff I bring home are things that I actually would need to help me advance in this particular journey. So that will be that'll be nice. But that'll be but also the second approach wasn't bad either. We said just kind of pulling it away slowly, because I know over the next however many months this will take, I will have, or what they would call a cheat day, or a day when I would eat like normal or the food that I enjoy eating right now, the junk food and stuff. But I know that has to be in moderation and on a tight leash, because I'm supposed to be actually gaining progress, but it will be present at some point. But I guess that's a really good starting point for all of this. I know it's going to be, this is the next couple months or however long it takes, it's going to be hard, but in the end, anything worth having is going to cost you something. So in this case, it's just going to cost time and effort, which is what I'm willing to put into it, and definitely plenty of discipline. So we'll see how far or how well this goes. I'm confident about it, but this will be somewhat new territory for me, or at least to this degree, so we'll see how well this works, and I will see y'all in the next video. And I just want to thank Jenna for taking time out of her evening to come educate me on basically what to do and how to kind of go about this type of thing. So thank you all for watching, and y'all have a great night.